Welcome back to Horoscope TV. I am just so glad you're joining us today.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be looking at the stars.
It really is. So if you are a Gemini or, if you just have a very special Gemini in your life, you need to get comfortable and listen closely.
Oh, absolutely. Grab a seat, maybe a notebook.
Right. Because we are looking at the week of June 29 to July 5, 2026. And let me tell you right now, the reason you absolutely must tune in today is because this week brings a massive wave of radical change.
Massive. The charts are just packed with energy.
Like, we're talking about exciting freedom and these sudden breakthroughs that will honestly, truly help you change your life for the better.
Yeah, it's a remarkable period. When we analyze the astrological charts right now, there is just a tremendous amount of activity concentrated in a very, very short window of time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the astro data we pulled for this week, and it's almost overwhelming. I mean, it seems like every major planet is doing something huge.
They really are. The planetary movements are electric right now. Yeah. This is definitely not a quiet, sleepy week where you just, go through your normal routine.
So no hitting the snooze button.
Exactly. No snoozing. It is setting up a week of high energy and big shifts for you. If you've been waiting for a moment to just shake things up, well, the planets are lining up to give you that exact push.
Wow. But before we get to the wild, fast-paced energy that happens later in the week, because I know that's what everyone really wants to hear about.
Oh, the fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff. But the charts show that we actually start with a pretty heavy grounding force that you have to deal with first.
We do. We have to look at Monday first. So let's analyze the astro charts for June 29.
Okay, lay it on us.
The week actually kicks off with a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. And we should probably talk about what a full moon actually does mechanically.
Right, because it's not just a pretty glowing thing in the sky. Like, in astrology, the moon represents our feelings, our internal world, and how we react to things, right?
Exactly. The moon moves very quickly, but when it reaches the full phase, it sits directly across from the sun. So the sun is lighting it up completely.
Ah, okay.
That's why a full moon acts like a giant spotlight. It shines a very bright light on things that have been growing in the dark, and it brings situations to a peak or like a climax.
Got it. So for you, as a Gemini, this spotlight is pointing at deep personal changes.
Yes, but it's happening in the sign of Capricorn.
Okay, and Capricorn energy is, well, it's generally known for being very serious. It's all about structure and rules and responsibility.
Very serious. It's earth energy.
So how does a fast-moving, talkative Gemini deal with that heavy, strict earth energy?
Well, it really forces you to slow down and look at the foundation of your life. Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, which is the planet of time and tough lessons.
Oh, wow. Saturn doesn't mess around.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So a full moon here is asking you to look closely at how much you've grown over the last 6 months and, what parts of your life need to change on a fundamental level.
So it's not about quick fixes.
Exactly. It's not a Band-Aid. It's about long-term stability. And because of where this full moon lands in the Gemini chart specifically, it is hitting the area that rules shared money, debts, and investments.
Okay, so the eighth house. But what does that mean in, like, plain terms for someone listening right now?
In plain terms, it means an important financial matter will finally come to an end.
Oh, nice. So are we talking about, like, finally paying off a car loan or maybe finishing a long project at work where you split the profits with someone else?
Precisely. It could be paying off a credit card balance that you have been chipping away at for months, or it could be settling a tax issue.
Ugh, tax issues are the worst.
They are. Or maybe you're finally getting a check from a business partner after a shared project ends. The full moon brings completion. So once this happens on June 29, that specific financial chapter closes for good.
I imagine that brings just a huge sense of relief because money issues can feel like this heavy backpack you carry around every single day.
Oh, it is a profound relief. It's a very grounding force. It really takes a heavy weight off your shoulders. But you do need to pay close attention to the details as this wraps up.
Right. Why is that?
Because June 29 is a busy day for another major reason in the charts.
Oh, right. It's the big one. The one everyone dreads and complains about on the internet all the time.
Yes, it is.
Mercury goes retrograde.
It does. Also on June 29, Mercury starts its retrograde phase.
Okay, let's actually unpack this and explain what that means mechanically, because I think a lot of people think the planet actually stops, turns around, and flies backward in space.
Yeah, that is a very common misunderstanding. Mercury does not actually reverse its orbit. It's just an optical illusion based on our point of view here on Earth.
Okay, so how does that work?
Think of it like driving on the highway. If you are in a fast car and you pass a slower car, For a brief moment, that slower car looks like it's moving backward relative to you.
Oh, yeah. I know that exact feeling.
Right. That is exactly what happens between Earth and Mercury. But in astrology, that apparent backward motion is highly significant.
Because Mercury is the planet of communication and travel, technology, messages, all that stuff.
Yes, all the details of daily life.
So when it looks like it's moving backward, all of those areas of life just seem to go a bit haywire. Things get delayed, emails get lost in the spam folder, people misunderstand each other.
Exactly. And what is vital to understand here is why this matters so much for a Gemini. You see, Mercury is your ruling planet.
Oh, wow. So they're directly connected to it.
Yes, it is the planet that guides your specific sign. Every sign has a ruler, and yours is the messenger planet.
So when Mercury slows down and turns around, a Gemini really feels it in their bones. It's not just a general annoyance like it is for the rest of us. It feels very personal to them.
It does. You are normally someone who loves to move fast. You process information quickly, you talk quickly, you like to juggle 10 things at once.
Classic Gemini energy.
Right. But this retrograde puts up a massive cosmic stop sign. It forces you to review past choices instead of rushing into new ones.
You know, I always try to explain this feeling with a simple picture. Like, okay, it's like you're rushing out the door for a big trip, you have your bags packed, you're running to the car, you're super excited to get on the road.
Good analogy, yeah.
But right as you grab the car door handle, you realize you left your wallet on the kitchen table.
Oh, the worst feeling.
Right. You have to stop your forward motion entirely. You have to turn around, go back inside, and retrace your steps to find it.
That is a very accurate way to look at it,
And,
because you cannot go on the trip without the wallet. You just can't.
Well,
You cannot move forward until you review what you left behind.
But I actually want to push back on something here.
Okay, go ahead.
If we have this massive wave of radical change and all these exciting breakthroughs coming later in the week, how is a Gemini supposed to handle this forced slowdown on Monday? Won't they feel completely frustrated?
Well, they might feel frustrated if they try to force things. The key is to use the retrograde properly.
Okay, how do they do that?
Because things are going to be moving so fast later in the week, you need immense focus at work right now. You have to make sure your foundation is solid before that storm of new ideas hits.
So we really just need to do the boring, practical stuff now. Eat your vegetables before you get dessert.
Exactly. My strongest advice when analyzing these charts is to back up all your computer files immediately. Do not wait.
Save everything.
Yes. Double-check your schedule for the entire week. Make sure you know exactly what time your meetings are and confirm them with the other people involved.
Because Mercury retrograde is famous for causing those simple mix-ups that lead to really big headaches.
Yes. Put your documents on a backup drive. Send yourself an email with the important attachments, just in case.
Right. If you're supposed to meet a client at, say, 2:00 p.m., send a polite message on Monday morning saying, hey, just confirming our 2:00 p.m. meeting.
It's all about being prepared. You want to clear the deck so that when the fast energy hits in a few days, you are not pulled backward by a silly mistake from the past.
You want to be completely free to ride the new wave.
Exactly.
Okay, so Monday is serious business. We wrap up a heavy financial issue under the full moon, and we start carefully double-checking our work as Mercury goes retrograde.
Right.
But as we move into the middle of the week, the story completely changes. Looking at between June 30 and July 2, we get this really strange mix in the charts.
It is a fascinating period because there are some very conflicting forces at play.
Yeah, it seems like highly fun social energy is clashing directly with frustrating work and money blocks. So let's break this down.
Well, let's analyze the fun part first because there's a lot of light here. On June 30, the planet Jupiter enters the sign of Leo.
Okay, and we need to understand what Jupiter does. It's the largest planet in our solar system.
Right. And in astrology, it acts like a magnifying glass. Whatever it touches, it expands. It brings growth, optimism, and a real sense of luck.
And it is moving into Leo. Now, Leo is a fire sign ruled by the sun. It's warm, dramatic, and very, very social. It loves to be on a stage.
Correct. So for you as a Gemini, this placement brightens your entire social circle. Jupiter in Leo wants to celebrate.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It is. It becomes much easier to meet new people. You will find it easier to show affection and just be your natural, charming self. People will actively want to be around your energy.
That sounds like a wonderful shift, especially after the heavy Monday we just talked about. You go from checking spreadsheets and paying off debts to suddenly feeling like the life of the party.
And it gets even better for your social life a couple of days later. On July 2, the planet Venus creates a beautiful angle with Lilith in the astro data.
Okay, Venus and Lilith. We know Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and attraction. But Lilith is a point in the chart that people often misunderstand.
Yes, they do.
What exactly does Lilith bring to this mix?
Lilith represents a very raw, untamed kind of energy. Astronomically, it's the point in the moon's orbit that is farthest away from the Earth.
Okay, so it's out on the edge.
Exactly. And astrologically, it represents the parts of ourselves that refuse to be controlled by rules.
Oh, I like that.
Right. So when you combine Venus, which wants to attract people, with Lilith, which wants to break the rules, it creates a very powerful romantic magnetism.
So it's not just like polite, sweet, romantic energy. It's bold. It's a little bit rebellious.
Very bold. People will just be drawn to you because you aren't trying to fit into a neat little box. You are owning your unique traits.
What if our listener is single?
If you are single, this is a fantastic time to go out and meet people because your confidence will be very high. You'll give off a very exciting vibe.
And what if they are already in a long-term relationship? Does this still affect them?
Oh, absolutely. This aspect helps you break free from boring routines. Lilith hates routine.
So no more pizza and a movie on a Friday night.
Exactly. It is the perfect energy to spark fun adventures with your partner. Do not just sit on the couch and watch the same television show you always watch.
You gotta shake it up.
Go somewhere you have never been. Try a new restaurant on the exact opposite side of town. Just break the mold of your normal evening.
I love that advice. But here is where I get a little confused looking at these charts.
Okay, what's confusing?
How can a Gemini be having the most charming, fun time with their friends, but at the exact same time hitting a brick wall at the office? Because the charts say July 2 is also full of intense work friction.
Yes. This is why we have to look at the whole picture. The sky is massive, and different planets are telling different stories at the same time.
Right, yeah.
While your social life is glowing with Venus and Jupiter, your work life hits a major speed bump. On that exact same day, July 2, the planet Mars forms a tough angle with the node.
Let's explain those terms for everyone. Mars is the planet of action, drive, and, sometimes conflict. It's the warrior planet. It just wants to push forward.
Yes, and the node, specifically the north node, represents your destiny, your future path, and where you are trying to go in life. The angle they form is called a square. A square is a 90-degree angle in astrology.
And that usually means friction, right?
Imagine two cars coming to an intersection at the exact same time from different directions. Neither one wants to stop. That creates intense tension and friction.
So Mars is trying to push forward, but it crashes into the path of your destiny. What does that actually look like in a normal day at the office?
When I analyze this specific astro data, it suggests a temporary but intense disagreement with a boss or a business partner.
Yikes.
You might want to move a project in one direction, you feel very strongly about it, and they're completely blocking your path.
So you walk into work feeling really good from that Venus energy, you're smiling and happy, and you pitch a new idea to your manager, and they just completely shoot it down.
Yes. They might tell you it's too risky, or it's just not how things are done here. And because Mars is involved, your instinct will be to fight back. You'll feel a real surge of frustration.
But wait, didn't you just say Mercury is retrograde? If Mercury is retrograde, a Gemini probably shouldn't be starting a fight with their boss anyway, right? Like, their words might come out totally wrong.
That is exactly the danger. You might try to passionately defend your idea, but because of the retrograde, you end up sounding aggressive instead of passionate, or you just mix up your facts completely.
Oh, that's a bad combination.
It's a very frustrating combination.
Yeah.
And to add to the tension, also on July 2, Jupiter forms a square with Chiron.
Another square, another 90-degree clash. So we know Jupiter expands things, but who is Chiron?
Chiron is an asteroid known as the wounded healer. It represents areas where we feel vulnerable or where we have past pain.
Okay.
When Jupiter, the planet of big things and expansion, clashes with Chiron, it actually expands that feeling of vulnerability. It warns us to be very careful about overextending ourselves to try and fix things.
So let me get this straight. You get rejected by your boss, you feel a little bruised from that Chiron energy, and then Jupiter makes you want to do something huge to prove them wrong.
Yes, but you must resist that urge. You must avoid signing any big contracts on July 2. Do not try to force a business deal through just because you are frustrated and want to win.
And what about outside of work?
Also, do not make expensive promises to your friends.
Right. Because Jupiter and Venus are making you feel so social and generous.
Exactly.
So if you are out having that amazing fun adventure with your friends to shake off the bad day at work and someone says, hey, we should all book a huge trip to an island next month. Everyone put in $500 right now.
You must say no.
Even if you really, really want to go.
Especially if you really want to go. You need to protect your wallet and your future self.
That makes sense.
With Mercury retrograde also happening, signing a contract, booking expensive travel, or making a big financial promise on July 2 is a very bad idea.
Because something will go wrong.
You will likely regret it later, or the details of the trip will be completely wrong. The hotel might be under construction, or the flight dates might be totally mixed up.
Okay, so July 2 is just a massive roller coaster. You're charming, you're having fun, your romantic magnetism is high, but work is annoying, your boss is blocking you, and you cannot sign anything or spend big money.
It's a lot to process.
That sounds mentally exhausting.
It is exhausting, and the charts show that physical toll very clearly. There is a specific planetary pattern happening on July 2 called a malefic besieged aspect.
Malefic besieged. Wow, that sounds like something out of a medieval history book.
It does, doesn't it?
What does that actually mean mechanically in astrology?
It happens when a fast-moving body, like the moon, is caught exactly between two difficult planets.
Okay.
In traditional astrology, Mars and Saturn are considered the malefic planets because they bring heat, pressure, and delays. So being besieged means you are trapped between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, wow.
The moon, which rules your emotions, cannot move forward without hitting a wall, and it cannot move backward without hitting a fire.
So you are just emotionally stuck in a very tight, uncomfortable space.
Exactly. When we analyze this specific chart pattern, it points directly to mental anxiety or restless sleep. Your mind is just spinning.
Because you're trying to process the good social events and the bad work events at the exact same time?
Yes. The planets are putting intense pressure on your nervous system.
So it's like 1 base 0 a.m. You are lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. You are replaying the argument you had with your boss, thinking of all the brilliant things you should have said.
Right.
But you are also smiling about a really nice text message you got from someone new. And your brain just will not shut off. You cannot sleep.
That is the exact scenario, which is why we need to provide some simple, actionable advice for July 2. You must intentionally unwind.
Okay, how do we do that?
You cannot just expect to fall into bed and fall asleep easily. You have to actively transition your brain out of that anxious state.
What is the absolute best way to do that?
The most important thing you can do on the evening of July 2 is avoid looking at screens before bed.
So no phones, no tablets, no scrolling through social media.
No television either. Nothing. The blue light from the screens tricks your brain into thinking it is still daytime. Furthermore, the constant flow of information reading news, looking at pictures, answering late texts will only make that mental anxiety worse.
That makes total sense.
Your brain is already besieged. Do not feed it more data to process.
So you literally have to put the phone in another room.
Yes. Read a physical book. Listen to some quiet, calming music. Take a warm bath. You have to send physical signals to your body that it is time to calm your nervous system down.
I think that's great advice. You have to actively soothe yourself. And getting a good night's sleep is so important because looking at the charts, we are about to need every single ounce of our energy for what comes next.
Oh, yes. As we move past that restless night and the roadblocks of July 2, we arrive at July 4.
The big day.
And all that tension, all that built-up frustration, and all that restless energy finally find an explosive release.
This is the massive wave of radical change we promised at the beginning of the show.
This is truly the highlight of the week. On July 4, Mars forms a spectacular conjunction with Uranus. We really need to explain how rare and powerful this is.
Well, a conjunction means two planets are meeting up at the exact same spot in the sky from our perspective here on Earth. They are blending their energies completely.
Yes, and they are meeting up right in the sign of Gemini.
Right in your sign. This is a direct hit to your core identity. So let's look at the players here. Mars is the planet of heat, action, courage, and power.
Right. It is the engine that drives us forward.
And Uranus is the planet of shock, surprise, revolution, and electricity.
Exactly. When Uranus was first discovered by telescope, it shattered the known boundaries of the solar system.
Because before Uranus, people thought Saturn was the absolute edge of the universe, right?
Yes. Uranus broke the rules.
Yes.
It proved the universe was much bigger and stranger than anyone knew.
It even orbits on its side, doesn't it? Like it rolls like a barrel instead of spinning like a top.
It does. It is highly eccentric. So when you take Mars, which is pure action and fire, and you smash it together with Uranus, which is sudden rule-breaking electricity, the result is massive.
It's like pouring gasoline on a live wire.
That is a brilliant way to picture it. When we analyze this massive event, it brings a huge wave of freedom, excitement, and sudden breakthroughs.
So whatever felt stuck on July 2 with your boss or your projects, this energy on July 4 blows the doors wide open.
Precisely. You will feel totally ready to change your entire life for the better. It brings brilliant flashes of insight.
Oh, I love that.
You might be sitting there having your morning coffee, and suddenly the answer to a problem you have been struggling with for months just drops into your brain out of nowhere.
Because Uranus brings that sudden lightning strike of genius.
Yes, the astro charts point to huge work and money breakthroughs here. This event gives you a brilliant idea that can completely revolutionize your work projects.
So instead of fighting with the boss about their old boring plan, which caused the fight on July 2, you suddenly invent a brand new plan that is 10 times better.
Exactly.
It solves the problem in a way no one even considered.
It is the kind of idea that makes everyone in the room stop and listen. They cannot argue with it because it is so clearly innovative.
But wait, I have a quick question about the money aspect.
Sure.
You said Uranus brings surprises, and the charts for this week mention a sudden financial windfall. But didn't we just spend the first part of the week talking about wrapping up debts and not spending money because of Jupiter and Chiron?
That is a very important distinction. Earlier in the week, the warning was about spending money or promising money to others.
Okay.
This Uranus energy on July 4 is about receiving money unexpectedly.
Earning versus spending.
Yes, because Uranus rules sudden events, it can bring an unexpected money opportunity completely out of nowhere.
Like what?
It could be a new client calling you out of the blue with a large budget. It could be a side project you forgot about suddenly paying out. It could even be an unexpected bonus at work.
That sounds incredible. Just a sudden deposit into your bank account or a big offer on the table.
It is incredible. However, I must remind you to keep your eyes open, but stay grounded.
Why is that?
With Uranus, money can come in very fast, but if you get reckless, it can leave just as fast.
Right, because we still have Mercury in retrograde, so we get the wild, lucky break, the brilliant idea, the sudden money, but we still need to read the fine print before we celebrate too hard.
Exactly. The retrograde demands that you double-check the details of this new opportunity. Do not just blindly accept it. Analyze it carefully.
Okay, check the details.
Now, all of this mental excitement has a profound physical effect, too. This conjunction of Mars and Uranus brings a huge rush of adrenaline and very high physical energy to your body.
I can completely imagine that. If you just got a brilliant idea that solves a major problem and a surprise money opportunity falls into your lap, your heart is going to be racing. Your body responds to that excitement.
It responds very strongly. And my advice on how to handle this safely is vital. You have all this raw electric energy coursing through your system. Do not let this high energy turn into nervous tension.
Because if you just sit at your desk, staring at your computer, vibrating with adrenaline, you will feel awful.
Yes, you will.
Your body will think it needs to run from a tiger, but you are just sitting in an office chair.
Right. It will turn into severe anxiety. You will feel jittery. Your stomach might hurt. And you will not be able to focus on the brilliant idea you just had.
So how does a Gemini process that physical feeling? What do they do?
You must channel this intense power physically. Go for a dynamic workout.
So hit the gym.
Go for a long run, lift weights, go for a fast bike ride, or dive deep into a fun, active physical hobby. You have to burn the fuel. Give that physical energy a place to go so it builds your strength up instead of stressing your nervous system out.
Move your body to process the excitement. I think that is brilliant advice for July 4. Burn off the adrenaline so your mind stays sharp.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have this massive fireworks show of ideas and energy. Then we move to the next day, July 5, which is the end of our forecast period for this week. It seems like the dust finally starts to settle.
It does. After the explosive, life-changing energy of July 4, July 5 brings a very different tone.
How so?
The charts show it is all about securing your power and finding deep healing. On this day, Mars moves past Uranus and forms a very helpful flowing angle called a trine with Pluto.
Let's explain a trine. Earlier, we talked about a square, which is a 90-degree clash. A trine is a 120-degree angle. In astrology, planets that are trine are usually in the same element, right? Like air signs with air signs or Earth with Earth.
Exactly. A trine means the energy between the two planets is flowing effortlessly. They are working together in perfect harmony. There's no friction at all.
And Pluto is the planet we are dealing with here. Pluto is the furthest out. It moved incredibly slowly. It represents the underworld, hidden wealth, and deep, unshakable power.
Yes, because Pluto moves so slowly, its influence is very permanent. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Pluto brings immense authority
Okay.
because it is making a smooth flowing connection with Mars, your action planet. It
Cool.
gives you the ability to close major deals without fighting.
So unlike July 2, where you were banging your head against the wall with your boss, today the door's just open for you.
Exactly. You can win professional battles easily. If there was still any leftover tension from the arguments earlier in the week, July 5 is the day you win the debate.
You just take the win.
You step into a position of absolute authority. You can completely secure your wealth and make very strong, permanent financial decisions.
It's like you have leveled up in a video game. You went through the friction on Tuesday, you had the massive breakthrough and found the new idea on Thursday, and now on Friday, July 5, you sit down at the table and calmly say, here is how it is going to be. And everyone just looks at you and agrees.
They recognize your authority. The trine aspect means you do not have to raise your voice. Your power is obvious and respected. But that professional victory is only half of the story for July 5.
Right, because there is another aspect happening at the exact same time that seems almost contradictory.
Yes, on the exact same day, Mars also connects beautifully with Neptune.
Neptune, the planet named after the god of the sea. It rules water, mist, dreams, illusion, and deep emotional sensitivity.
It does.
So I have to ask, what does this all mean when you put it together? We just went from winning a major office battle and securing deep financial power to suddenly dealing with the planet of dreams and mist. It feels like whiplash.
It is a profound contrast, but when we analyze it, it is exactly what your mind and body need.
Oh, okay.
When Mars and Neptune connect in a positive way, it brings a soft, poetic, and deeply romantic mood. Mars is taking action, but it is taking action based on empathy and feeling rather than ambition.
So you are not using Mars to fight anymore. You are using Mars to connect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After a week of intense mental roadblocks, fighting for your ideas, shocking lightning strike breakthroughs, and securing your professional power, Neptune steps in to soften all those hard edges.
That sounds really nice.
It allows you to bond very closely with someone special.
It's like you come home from conquering the world, you walk through your front door, leave the
Yeah.
briefcase and the power suits behind, and you just want to sit on the couch, hold hands with someone you love, and listen to beautiful music.
Yes, you let your guard completely down. Neptune provides deep emotional healing. It washes away the stress of the week like a gentle wave.
Wow.
It gives you a wonderful sense of physical renewal. You finally feel safe enough to just relax and be completely vulnerable.
That is a beautiful way to end such a chaotic week. You win the battle, but you don't lose your heart in the process.
Well said.
Now that we understand all the major events and the flow of the week, let's open up the Cosmic Toolkit. We always want to provide specific tools, numbers, and relationship guides to help you navigate these charts perfectly.
Knowing who to surround yourself with is just as important as knowing what the planets are doing. The people around you can either help you channel this energy or they can make the friction much worse.
So let's talk about relationships. Based on all the astro charts we just analyzed, who should a Gemini steer clear of this week? Who is the absolute worst match for this specific energy?
When I look at the alignments, it is very clear that Virgo is a terrible match for you right now.
Oh boy. We have to apologize to all the Virgos out there, but let's break down exactly why this combination fails this week.
It comes down to planetary rulers, the elements, and the speed at which you both want to move.
Okay, let's start with the rulers.
First, let's talk about the ruling planets. Remember that Mercury retrograde that started on June 29?
Yes, the forced slowdown that makes us review past mistakes.
Well, Mercury rules your sign, Gemini, but Mercury also rules Virgo.
Ah. So you are both feeling the confusion and the delays of the retrograde at the exact same time.
Yes, because Mercury rules both of your signs. This retrograde will cause major misunderstandings between the two of you.
How does that happen?
A Gemini processes information through air talking, sharing ideas, exploring concepts. A Virgo processes information through Earth, looking for practical details, organizing facts, finding flaws.
So under a retrograde, a Gemini will say one thing, maybe a big abstract idea, and the Virgo will hear something completely different and immediately point out why it won't work practically.
Exactly. The communication breakdown is severe. But beyond that, the speeds you want to move at are entirely different.
Right.
You, as a Gemini, want to move fast and try new things. When that electric Uranus energy hits you on July 4, you are ready to fly. You want to completely change your work projects. You want to embrace the unexpected.
Because Uranus hates rules and Gemini loves variety.
But a Virgo is naturally cautious. They are an earth sign. They want stability. When you come to them with a wild, revolutionary idea, they will try to slow you down.
Oh, I can see that going badly.
They will hand you a list of rules and warn you about all the tiny details that could go wrong.
And when you are feeling that massive wave of freedom on July 4, someone handing you a clipboard full of rules and warnings will just make you feel completely trapped. You will resent them for trying to ground your lightning.
You will feel suffocated. Finally, because of that difficult Mars aspect on July to the 6th, the square with a node, your future goals simply do not match right now.
So don't try to plan anything big.
If you try to work together on a business project or even just plan a simple weekend trip, it will lead to endless arguments.
Yeah.
You will argue about tiny mistakes that simply do not matter in the big picture.
So for this week, keep a polite distance from the Virgos in your life. Don't start new projects with them, and maybe delay the big relationship talks until the retrograde passes.
Yes, that is the safest bet.
So if Virgo is the worst, who is the best match? Who will help a Gemini ride this massive wave of change?
The absolute best match for you this week is Libra.
Libra, the sign of the scales. Tell us why they are the perfect partner for this energy.
When I analyze the charts, Libra is the perfect match because they offer exactly what you need. Balance without restriction.
That sounds ideal.
That massive electric Uranus energy from July 4 is very chaotic.
Right.
It needs a balanced partner to help ground it, but importantly, a partner who will not put out the fire.
Right, because Libra is an air sign, just like Gemini. So they speak the exact same language. They understand the need for space and new ideas.
Yes, they process the world through intellect and communication, just like you do. And let's look at the planetary connections. Remember, on July 2, we have that lovely Venus angle with Lilith.
The romantic magnetism and the desire to break routines.
Exactly. Venus is the planet that rules Libra. Because their ruling planet is making such a bold, exciting connection, a Libra will deeply appreciate your unique ideas and your fun sense of humor this week.
They'll just get it.
They will not judge you for wanting to break the rules or try something wild.
Unlike the Virgo, who might judge the wild ideas and ask for a complete risk assessment, the Libra will just say, "That sounds amazing, how do we do it?"
Yes, they are highly collaborative. Furthermore, even when Mercury retrograde makes it hard to speak clearly, a Libra will listen with an open mind. They are the sign of the scales, which means they are naturally patient and willing to see things from every side.
So even if you stumble over your words or you send a confusing text message because of the retrograde, the Libra won't get annoyed. They will just smile and say, "I think I know what you mean. Let's talk it through."
Exactly. They offer grace. You two will share wonderful conversations and amazing creative breakthroughs. Having a Libra around will make the relationship feel fresh, exciting, and deeply supportive through every single planetary shift this week.
That sounds perfect.
They will help you refine your July 4 breakthroughs without holding you back at all.
If you know a Libra, call them right now. Make plans with them. All right, let's give you your lucky elements for the week. Grab a pen or pull up the notes app on your phone because you will want to remember these.
Yes, the charts point to some very specific numbers for you.
Your lucky numbers for the week are 3, 11, 19, 25, 33, and 42.
And your color of the week is yellow.
Yellow makes perfect sense for Gemini, but let's explain why it fits this week specifically.
Yellow is traditionally associated with Mercury, your ruling planet. But more than that, it perfectly represents the bright, electric, fast-moving energy of Uranus that you are tapping into on July 4.
It's a very active color.
It is the color of the mind, of bright ideas, and of sudden illumination.
So wear yellow, put some yellow flowers on your desk, or just visualize that bright color when you need a burst of confidence. And what are the absolute best dates of the week to take action? If a Gemini has to schedule a big meeting or make a bold move, what days should they target?
The charts show that July 2 and July 4 are your strongest days to take action.
Right, July 2. But we talked about how July 2 has all that work friction and the malefic besieged aspect that causes anxiety.
It does have friction, but remember, July 2 also has Venus connecting with Lilith. Even with the work roadblocks, it is a day where your charm and your personal magnetism are completely off the charts.
Oh, I see.
You can use that charm to navigate the friction. And July 4 is, of course, your day of radical breakthroughs and sudden opportunities.
Amazing. What a week. We have truly covered everything. We have gone from heavy financial wrap-ups on Monday under the Capricorn moon, to mixed up workdays and romantic sparks, to massive lightning strike ideas on Thursday, and finally down to deep, poetic romance and healing on Friday.
It is a profound journey for you to take in just a few days. You're going to learn a lot about your own power. And looking at all this astro data raises an important question for you to think about as you move forward.
Ooh, what is your final thought for the listener to take with them today?
If the planets are handing you a brilliant, unexpected idea that can completely revolutionize your life this week, what old, boring habit are you finally brave enough to leave behind forever?
Oh, that is so good. You cannot bring the old habits into this new revolutionary phase. Think about that. What are you leaving behind?
Thank you so much for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV.
It has been a true pleasure analyzing these charts and guiding you through this energy. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get notified when the next episode is available. You will not want to miss what the stars have planned for you next. See you next time.